entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creator.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Yeah, what up, my people? This is Eazie Boi. I hope you all are doing well. It's great to be with you. Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. I am super excited to chat with you about your journey when it comes to, music. But I love going back to the beginning. I always say the beginning charts our trajectory in life, our little habits, we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like growing up, and how did you find your way into music?
All right. Growing up as a child, I've never enjoyed the privileges of growing up as a child because I was not born into a rich family. I was born into a poor family, and things were hard. You know. So, like every family, like at least 78% of the families, every 25 December, they will buy clothes for their children. They will kill chicken, do cook rice and stew, have all manner of celebration. You know, our family was not like that. My own family was not like that. You know, just now I get to understand that back then my dad would always tell me, because my dad is a religious person. So my dad would always want to this is not something to celebrate about. This is something to feel sorry about, that, Christ was killed, blah, 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 and stuff like that. But I get to understand that it's because he didn't want us to feel like he is not doing what other people are doing, or we shouldn't look out for what other people are doing. So that was why I was saying those stuffs. But the truth is that I've never enjoyed the privileges of growing up as a child. So that is why I'm always determined, in the future, I'm going to give a lot of children. I'm going to make them enjoy the privileges that I've never had. I'm going to make my children enjoy those privileges that I've never had. I'm going to reach out to a lot of families and make sure that they enjoy most of those things I've never enjoyed as a child. So, which is one of the things that have motivated me to stay in this music, because I know with this music I can reach out to as much people as I want to reach out to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think music is the universal language, right? To reach people and connect. Yeah, and with having all that against you, all those odds against you growing up, coming from nothing to making something so awesome and powerful that connects people. Tell me a little bit about the process of this new, single that you created. Where did it come about? What inspired it? Yeah, tell me about that.
What inspired normally is just about the situation back in Nigeria. Yeah, firstly, I'm an Afrobeat artist from West Africa, Nigeria, currently in Nigeria right now. So I'm a born African, I'm a born Nigerian. I was born and brought up in Nigeria, so I've been a while right here in Nigeria. So I've seen a lot of things, and uh, I've also get to understand how the economy works. And right now, things are not going well, and it's not like it's just starting now. You know, with all the things Africa in general have, not just Nigeria alone, but with all the things Africa has, and they call Nigeria the giant of Africa as well, but we are not representing as the giant of Africa. Things are still tough. People are still suffering. Children are still suffering. No good medical health care. No water, no electricity. The rough handling on the capitalization. I mean the capitalism also. I
Mm,
just feel like things is and at the same time you cannot really open up and criticize the government that this is what they're doing is wrong or this and that. You understand. So we just have to
yeah,
keep it low. We just have to be creative with what we are doing. That is why um, all the message is hidden behind
mm-hmm,
normally. You listen to the
yeah,
song very well, you hear that normally we are supposed to laugh, normally we are supposed to be happy, but it's because things are not going well. That is why, because the leadership is wrong, because a lot of things is wrong with the society. That is why we are still stuck at where we are right now. It's just normally things were supposed to be right, but right now things are not right. So that is
yeah.
what normally is just all about.
Yeah, and it's so, thank you for being so, open and brave about putting that message out, because like you said, it's putting it, hiding it in the music, like this symbolisms about what's really happening in Nigeria.
Mm.
Speaking out can be dangerous, I'm sure, like you said, but how do you personally balance truth telling and self preservation? Like, like you don't want to do too much, because like I guess it could be a problem to speaking the truth, which it's so sad that we live in a day and age that we can't speak the truth. And you hear on TV, in politics, that yeah, you can, it's a free country, but it's like, is it really, if we can't actually speak the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah. One thing you need to know is that I'm a Pan African. I'm a born Pan Africanist. So the truth is the truth. There's no two words about it. The truth is the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not scared of death. You know, everybody at the end of the day, everybody will leave this world. But what matters is the impact that you leave behind. The footprints that you leave behind for other people to work on, the things you've done that other people are living in are living happily through what you've done. Those are the things that matters. But for everybody will leave this world when their time comes. So we are not scared of government coming after us or something like that. But right now, as a upcoming artist, as an X-rated artist, it could be a little bit difficult because right now those kind of Pan-African songs, activism songs, those are not just the kind of songs that the Nigerian audience would want to vibe into right now because things are already difficult. Everybody else have already come to understand that things are difficult. So they don't need anybody to remind them again that things are difficult.
Right.
What they just want to do, they just want to feel happy. They just want to listen to something that is going to, take away that memory or for even if it's for a while, you know. So that's why people just want to, vibe. People just want to be happy. They go to club. They just want to listen to something that is going to make them feel the moment at that time. So that's the reason. Once again, I had to make normally in riddles. That is how I had to make normally in riddles. But
Gotcha.
concern about my concerns, if they are going to come for me or something like that, no. Nobody's afraid of that. The truth is the truth. If I don't speak the truth, if I fail to speak the truth today, some other person is going to stand up and speak the truth. The fact is that we are just
It's
who we
true.
are. Capitalism is just capitalism, and the truth will always be the truth. so long capitalism exists, so long oppression, bad governance, and poverty exist, um, activism will always exist, will always, be active.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Um, you know, can you tell me a little bit about the process of making this? Did you like when it comes to making this song, who like the people that you connect, like the people that you connected with, the production, the people that you hired, or did you produce it all yourself? Like, how did that all come about?
Um, uh, every artist, every music artist is supposed to be an architect. This music thing is more, it's a craft. So, and personally, um, a visionary thinker. So, before I write my songs and during when I'm writing my songs, I've already envisioned how this song is going to look like, and I've also put into consideration how the fans is going to relate to the song, and the possible sounds that is supposed to be invoked on the song. So what I do is most times when I'm writing my songs, I create my beats in my mind, and then I write those songs on those beats. And when anytime I want to work with the producer, I have to play the beats with my mouth so that they would be able to understand what I had in mind. Then whatever will be left is just a couple of moderations. So um, I practically gave the blueprints of the beats and how it's going to go, the kind of elements I want, the sounds of the kind of elements I want, and how it's supposed to be, and how it's supposed to be played, and how it's supposed to sound. So the producer just assisted me in putting down those um, elements on the song, playing those chords on the song, and the what was left was just the modification, the mixing and mastering, which is basically their job. I don't know how to mix and master. So, but the type of instruments and how those instruments are supposed to be played, and the construction, I think I laid those down for him to go with.
I love that. I love that. Has there ever been moments when a producer didn't understand your vision, or and how did you overcome that? Like, I'm sure, you know, because I'm very anal when it comes to, the editing room when I'm with the editors and I'm like, okay, this is the vision I have. Can you bring this to life? How do you guys, communicate with that?
Yes, I've had instances where producers don't understand me. For example, I just produced a song called um, One Africa, which is going to be dropped, I think, later in the year. As the year unfolds, we'll think of dropping that song.
Nice.
In the process of that song, I told that guy to play. There's a way I wanted him to play to blow the trumpet, or to. He said trumpet will not go. He would rather prefer us to use brass. So I said, all right, no problem. I tried to explain my mind, and he didn't understand. And the worst part was that I was not in the studio. I've already left the studio. It was when I told him, he said he was going to do it, that you understand that I am free to go. But when I left, and unfortunately I had to travel back that day, and where I was going was about 2 hours journey. After on getting to
Mm,
where I was going, that was when I discovered that this guy did not understand what I told him.
mm,
And that was how we started going back and forth on phone. Play it like this, play it like this. I played with my mouth. He didn't get it. So anytime I get into situations like that, the fact is we are still going to achieve what we're supposed to achieve, but it's just going to take it's just going to take more days than it was supposed to be originally. So most times I have to travel back to the studio and tell them, hey, because for the fact is I don't know how to play any instruments, but I know how all those instruments are supposed to sound. So I have to
Yeah.
travel back to the studio and sit down with him, play it like this, play it that. It's easier when you are in the studio. Do it like this, do
Yeah.
it like this, or just play the way. If when you're working on the Cubase, there is this. I don't know how they call it, but it always appears as dot 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 dot. So it's very simple for you to just tell them bring this dot down or take it higher, more higher than this. So, but the fact is, anytime I'm caught up in situations like that, it's just going to take time, but we'll still achieve what we are supposed to achieve.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, and you did it with in spades. Congratulations. I mean, it's beautifully the sound, and it's just really great. You sound amazing. Have you ever, I'm curious of like, have you ever been um compared to any other artist, and like because you know how some people can say, well, I this is me, I have my own stamp, but obviously everyone likes to compare these days, and when it comes to music. um
Mhm. Yeah. Um, I think I've been compared to three different celebrities in Nigeria.
mm,
Um, one specifically is not a music artist, is an activist. They call him Very Dark Man. And because anytime I play it, my usual style is all back. And the reason I'm always on all back is because that signifies the suffering or the enslavements of the Africans, because I get to understand over time through history that Africans used to plate all back. They use that all back they use it for two things. They signify their escape plans. They communicate their escape plans to each other, and they also preserve food that they are going to eat
mm,
with that hairstyle. That was how they invented the hairstyle, to be able to communicate their escape plan, and also preserve some food so that they could preserve rice. They said they used to hide rice in those hairstyles. So anytime I play those hairstyles, people always look like, this guy looks like Very Dark Man. They call me Very Dark Man a lot of times. And I don't know, maybe because of the shape of my shoulder, the muscles and stuff like that. And they also compare me to Burna Boy too. Um,
yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah, they compare me to Burna Boy too. They said I sound like Burna Boy. I have the deep voice, the composure, my style of music. They also say I sound like Burna Boy, and they also compare me to Don Jazzy too. You know,
Ah,
uh, yeah. So
that's
those are the three
amazing. I
people.
mean,
Mm,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good people.
yeah.
Burner, yeah,
I'm proud of all these guys, man. I'm proud of them,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of what they
That's
stand for. I'm proud of what they do.
yeah. I love that what you said. Are you proud of what they stand for? I see a lot of artists and a lot of people, especially in the music world. I think a lot of times, we like you said, a lot of people just listen to music to just, for escapism, to get away from their troubles, to get away from the reality of what's going on in the now. Um, but
Mm,
but you as an artist want to leave something behind, like
mm,
where it's not just legacy, but to help others, find a way out of, mentally, physically, not just, just getting out for the moment, but literally like a blueprint of like, okay, this is what I did. You don't have to be subjected to what's happening. This is how I do it. Do you find that people consume music nowadays? Because now it's like artists come and go. The
mm.
ones that stay forever, to me, seem like they have something very important to say, like yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because as an upcoming artist, a lot of people will always want to advise you. People that are not even up to your standard want to advise you. People that have been ahead of you, always want to advise you. People that as uh, I might be a songwriter and a recording artist. I might be a talented songwriter and a recording artist, and the same way I'm talented to write songs and produce songs, record songs. They are also talented listeners. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there are also people that are talented in listening to music, but they are not music artists. They are not. Sometimes they are not even into music, but they are just talented listeners. All these people who always want to come and drop a bit of advice for you that, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But the fact at the end of the day is still it's just that you've got to hold on to what you want. You as a person needs to know what you want. You need to know who you are. You need to know what your brand is all about. You need to know what you stand for. you know so that is when you can be
Absolutely.
able to navigate your way through all these things. And over time, getting back to your questions, over time people have advised me that, instead of me talking about all these things, can't I just do music that everybody will vibe to. There are some artists in Nigeria which I don't want to mention their names. They write the kind of songs like after 2 months, like you listen to the song, you kind of like you dance to it, you love it, but after 2 months it makes no sense to you, you know. So
Yeah.
I said I've always stood my ground and I've always let them to understand that I'm not in the music industry because I want to make a name for myself. I'm not in the music industry because I want to make money. I just want to blow. Let me use the Nigerian word blow. Come to fame or come to limelight. No, I'm not for that. You know, I want to use what I do to make impact in my society. You
Yeah.
know,
And I
you
love that.
see, you see, yeah, you see the likes of Lucky Dube, you see the likes of Fela Kuti, you see the likes of Bob Marley. A lot of them. I also want to go even after 10 years, 5 years, of their departure from this world. Their music, what they stood for. See the likes of Michael Jackson, what they stood for,
Yes.
still speaks volumes. When they are playing the songs of these people, nobody will want to listen to any of these guys, despite even if these guys are still alive. Those are the footsteps I'm actually working towards. But Eazie Boi is Eazie Boi. I'm still my brand, and you know, but I admire these legends, and that is what I'm looking up to. That one day, I also want people to look at me the same way they're looking at some of these legends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure they will, I think it takes, that kind of, tenacity and drive that you have to achieve those things, to want to, yeah, to be your brand, but to not be controlled by the system, which a lot of people are, unfortunately. um, how do you think people outside of Africa often misunderstand, what do you think people misunderstand about Afrobeat and African music, especially outside of Africa?
Over time, uh, people have always, especially people from the other side of Africa, have always felt like um, we are struggling in music. Maybe we are not really, you know, giving the kind of music that we're supposed to give, or our music is inferior. But the good news is that over time, um, people are beginning to evolve with the Nigerian music. With the style of music we are doing right now, with Afrobeat. You know, people are enjoying it. And it's actually making waves. You can see somebody like Davido is featuring artists like Chris Brown. Is featuring Whiskey doing music with somebody like Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that the music industry is beginning to have a new look, which gives the Nigerian music industry an opportunity, a chance, of standing out in the music industry. So I believe that the perspective is beginning to shift, and people are beginning to recognize Nigerian music, and people are beginning to recognize Afrobeat. You know, the reason they
Absolutely.
call it Afrobeat is because the Afro there stands for Africa. So whatever is coming
Mm-hmm.
from Africa is being recognized as Afro. Afro stands for Africa. So long as it's coming from the continent, is most people regard it as Afro. Some people just call it Afrobeat because they don't really understand what it means. They just call it because that is what people calls it. But that's the real origin of this Afro thing. Music is just music, but the Afro is kind of like give it signify that this is from the continent of Africa.
I love
You know.
that. Is there any artist, living or dead, that you would like to collaborate with if you could?
Yep. Um, I have visions of I have dreams collaborating with um, artists in the US, in Nigeria, and within Africa and outside Africa. You know, I have dreams of collaborating with somebody like uh, Rihanna. I have dreams collaborating with somebody like Burna Boy, Davido. Um, there are some good artists around in the continent like Olamide, and I also have dreams of collaborating with somebody like 50 Cent, Eminem. Get to
Yeah.
understand that Eminem is actually one of my role models, because when it comes to rapping, um, Eminem, Lil Wayne, and 50 Cents. Those are my role models when it comes to rapping. I'm also a rapper too. I do international rap and local raps as well. But when it
Nice.
comes to rap, those are my role models, and I'm looking forward to, having one or two projects to do with these legends.
To your mouth to God's ears. I'm most definitely sure it'll happen for sure. You're so
Mm,
talented. Um, and
thank you.
absolutely. My question, I love asking this because I feel like everyone likes to hear this, and
Mm,
advice. For that young girl, young boy that wants to get into the music world, that has a dream, that wants to do what you're doing. What advice would you
mm.
give them?
Um, the advice I would give them is that um, starting as an upcoming artist, things are never going to be easy. Things are never going to be easy. But if you have the opportunity to be in a better place as an upcoming artist, it's something that you must not take for granted, because there are over 1 million people that is fighting for that spot that you are right there. So it's something you have to be grateful for, and it's something you have to hold very tight, and it's a sport you have to hold it very serious. What I'm trying to say in one sense is that um, you have to work hard, be resilient, um, be inspired by other people's pain. You know that you are more of the voice of the voiceless. So you need to work hard. Anytime you're in the studio, you need to give your best. You need to talk about reality. Put more effort in talking about reality. Put more
Mm-hmm.
effort in using your craft. By one way or the other, change to change your society, make it a better place for the people even after you. Make it a better place for the next generation. Think about your society, whatever you're doing, and also work hard. Yeah, and that's just what I would like to say to them.
I love that. I love that. It's great, great advice. Um, Also, where can people find you on social media to follow everything you have coming up and going on?
Yeah. I'm on all social media. My songs are on digital platforms, digital stores. I'm on X, um, as I am underscore Eazie Boi, and I am on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. All is with one name. I am underscore Eazie Boi. I am sorry. I am underscore Eazie Boi. But I'm on Spotify. My songs are on Spotify, Audio Max, Boomplay, Tidal, all of them. My musics are there. So on Shazam, my song is there. Apple Music. So just the name is just I am underscore Eazie Boi. But on digital stores, the name is Eazie Boi. And the Eazie Boi is
Awesome.
spelled as Eazie Boi. Eazie Boi.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a pleasure having you on and talking about the journey. It was so fun. Um, do you have any like little tad like something from your playbook? It could be anything that you use when that you incorporate in your life when you have those, moments that you're not, inspired or you're not, it's not a good day. What do you usually do to balance it out and to get back to feeling good?
Can you ask that again?
Um, on those
Yeah.
moments of like when you're really feeling low and not inspired, and
Mm.
you don't you're not having a good day, what do you do to um, it could be, to just get back to feeling good, to get back to feeling balanced?
Okay. Um, Naturally, I'm this kind of a person that no matter what happens, no matter how offended I am, once I sleep over it, I will just be fine the next day. So no matter how disappointed I am, no matter how what happens on a particular day, I just have to sleep over it. But there are definitely times where I feel down. There are definitely times I feel like giving up. There are definitely a lot of times where I feel very discouraged. With one or two things, maybe things are not moving on. Getting disappointed with promoters, getting disappointed with a lot of things. But what happens is that, like I said, this is not about just myself. I always tell myself that is the boy. You need to keep going. You need to keep moving. The
I
world
love
is
that.
waiting for you. The world
Yeah.
is waiting for you, and um, your music is just one step away from changing a lot of lives. Because one thing
Yeah.
I'm also looking up to this music is I want to be the kind of artist where my music would inspire people not to give up on their dreams.
Right.
I want to be the kind of artist where my music, would assist people in achieving their dreams, succeeding in life, not giving up in life. I want my music to, um, sorry, I want my music to actually um, make people to feel belong, feel loved. You know, I understand a lot of people are going through a lot of things. But I want to be the kind of artist when people listen to my song, they feel loved. You know, they feel like there are still good people in the world, that there are still opportunities in the world, and the world still need good.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And you're doing just that. And please come back in the future when you have more stuff down the line. It will be
Yeah.
it was a pleasure.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Thank you again.
It's nice
And
talking
thank
to you too.
you too, you too. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.